Well, yeah, it's your boy J Fat, J Figgity, and the Giggity, and the Biggity. God bless y'all. Tell somebody else, God bless them. Be great. So, this is chapter 8. Chapter 8, The Test of Lightning. Jade was the only woman who could tell me I was special and stupid in the same breath. Normally, I don't take advice from people I wouldn't trade places with, but Jade was one of the few people in my life who criticized me so heavily that I knew it would do nothing but sharpen my blade. I met Jade in late 2012 while working at a company called Derivative. I had gotten the job through Pool's cousin named Winnie. We worked with people who had developmental and mental disabilities. And at the time, I was young, ambitious, and working every hour I could. Jade wasn't just a coworker, she was above me in the company's hierarchy. She carried herself with confidence, and people paid attention when she spoke. One day, while we were at McDonald's with our clients, another coworker named Mani pulled uh, pulled me to the side and said that she liked me. Then she laughed and said Jade had already claimed me though. The thing was, Jade and I had barely spoken. Back then, I thought I was slick. My original plan wasn't to date either of them. My plan was to get a hotel room, buy some liquor, invite both women, and see if I could talk my way into a threesome. I told Monty to pass the message along. Instead, I got Tiffany's number back. Then something happened I wasn't expecting. We talked and talked and talked. One conversation turned into an all night phone call, had me standing in the middle of the streets under the street lights. By the time the sun came up, Jay had decided she didn't want to share me with anybody. The truth is, I didn't put up much of a fight. She was beautiful, like fine, confident, experienced, and made me feel chosen. At 25 years old, I felt like I hit the lottery. Years later, Jade admitted something to me. When she first got involved with me, she thought I would be an easy mark. I was young, I had no kids, I worked 4 jobs, I lived by myself. From her perspective, I looked like a man with the resources who would be easy to influence. That the part neither of us was expecting, somewhere along the way, she actually fell in love with me. And if I'm being fair, I fell in love with her too. When Jay was at her best, she was incredible. She greeted me at the door. She kept the house spotless. She encouraged me. She bragged about me. She made me feel desired. She made me feel important. She made me feel like I was building something with somebody who genuinely wanted me. She even sought advice from her friends about how to keep me happy because she was terrified of losing me. That version of Jade was easy to love. The problem was, Jade had another side too. Alcohol had a way of bringing it out. The sweet woman who made me feel appreciated could become forceful, confrontational, impossible to reason with. Small disagreements could become major battles. Opinions became demands. Arguments became explosions. Our relationship became a cycle of love, conflict, reconciliation, and repetition. At one point, she moved into my house. At another point, I put her out. Later, she wanted to come back, then I put her out again. Eventually, she moved down the street from where I live. We spent years trying to figure out whether we were lovers, friends, enemies, teammates, or some strange combination of all four. Neither one of us seemed willing to let the story end. One thing that complicated everything was sex. Tiffany believed I cared about sex too much. If you asked her what my biggest flaw was, that's probably what she would say. If you asked me what my biggest frustration was, I tell you that affection often felt conditional. Sometimes it felt like if I had as if I had to make sure all of her needs were met before any of my needs mattered. Neither one of us was entirely right. Neither one of us was entirely wrong. We were two imperfect people trying to force a relationship to work long after the owner's manual had been lost. The worst moments usually involved alcohol. Friday nights became legendary for all the wrong reasons: arguments, accusations, property damage, chaos. One night things got so bad, Jade chased me out of the house with a knife. I ran to my car. She slashed my tire. During the confrontation, she cut my hand. Looking back, I don't think it was about the picture she found in my phone, which was just me and my homeboys celebrating, putting together something that we've been working on. I think it was about control. It was about rage. I think it was about two people who no longer knew how to hurt each other without hurting themselves in the process. Most relationships would have ended there. Ours didn't. For years, we continued finding our way back to each other. Sometimes as lovers, sometimes as friends, sometimes as something in between. But the moment that changed everything happened in a hotel room. Years into our relationship, I shared one of my private fantasies with Tiffany. And she told me to go and tell Jade. I like the idea of a night where there was no resistance, no arguing, no negotiation, just a playful fantasy where somebody said yes to every request. We turned it into an experience. What happened afterward mattered far more than the fantasy itself. An argument broke out. Tiffany had been drinking, and that night she unloaded on me. She called me weak. She questioned my manhood. She criticized choices that I had made. She spoke from a place of disappointment, frustration, and anger. The words hit harder because they came from someone I loved. A stranger couldn't have hurt me like that. Jade could. I carried parts of that conversation with me for years. Not because I agreed with everything she said, I didn't. Not because she was fair, she wasn't. But because she was honest about how she felt in that moment. Drunk honesty, angry honesty, exaggerated honesty, but honesty nonetheless. And strangely enough, I forgave her, not immediately, not because I believed she was right, not because I understood she wasn't trying to destroy me. It was because I understood she wasn't trying to destroy me. She was expressing disappointment in the only way she knew how. That night became the moment she laced up my boots. After Jade, no woman could ever hurt me in the same way. Not because I came cold, not because I stopped caring, because I had already survived the lightning, the criticism, the rejection, the disappointment. The realization that somebody who loves you can still think you're wrong. The realization that somebody can wound you and still be your friend. Years passed, the romance slowly faded. The friendship remained. Her son, Dejan, grew up, and to this day he still tells me he loves me when he sees me. Life kept moving. The relationship transformed into something neither of us expected. One day I was taking Jade to the doctor's appointment, and a nurse made a comment, and Jade introduced me as her husband. For almost 13 years, Jade had told everybody who would listen that one day I would be exactly that, her husband. Without thinking, I shook my head no. I wasn't trying to embarrass her. I wasn't trying to hurt her. I was simply telling the truth. At some point, the dream had stopped being real for me. Later, after she got an apartment that she lives in now, she brought it up. She told me that the day I shook my head in that doctor's office was the day she realized I wasn't going to marry her. The day she realized I wasn't coming back in the way she had always hoped. That conversation hurt me. Not because I wanted to marry her, but because I knew I had finally broken a dream she had carried for over a decade. And for the first time, I realized something too. Tiffany, I mean, Jade would never love me the same way again. Not because she stopped loving me, because she finally stopped waiting for me. There is an old story about a bird flying south for the winter. The bird freezes and falls from the sky. A cow comes along and drops manure on him. The warmth saves his life. The bird starts singing because he's happy. The cat hears him, pulls him out of the manure, and eats him. The lesson is simple. Everyone who shits on you isn't your enemy. Everyone who gets you out of shit isn't your friend. And when you are in deep shit, sometimes it's best to keep quiet. Jade taught me that lesson better than anyone. She criticized me, she challenged me, she embarrassed me. She loved me, supported me, disappointed me, protected me, and sharpened me. She was a friend disguised as a lover, and by the time our story was over, she had laced my boots so tight that no one who came after her could ever hurt me in the same way. Well, yeah, it's your boy J Fat. J Figgity and a Biggity. Tell somebody. And like, share, subscribe. Let me know if you want to hear more of my book. I'm going to do it anyway, though.